You're listening to the Luxe Life Discovered podcast, where we talk with people who are living a lifestyle that reflects their passion, because we believe everyone should be living their best life, their Luxe life. The show is hosted by Rick Steiner with Steiner Event Group, a premier national event planning company, and co-hosted by Shannon Richmond, the Vice President of the Panama City Beach Chamber of Commerce. If you are watching on YouTube, be sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell to get notifications of future episodes. The show is produced by 30A Media and is broadcast on your favorite podcast outlets, as well as YouTube, Roku TV, Amazon Fire TVs, and other major brand smart TVs.
Welcome back to Luxe Life Discovered. I'm Rick Steiner with Steiner Event Group, your host, and my co-host is Shannon Richmond with the Panama City Beach Chamber of Commerce. And then our guest today is Stephen Paul with 30A Electric Bike. And I wanted to have Stephen on for some time because the whole electric bike concept still intrigues me. So tell me how you came up with the idea, started your company, and
Sure. Well, thanks for having me on, first off.
You're welcome.
And I guess if you would have told me 4 years ago that I would own an electric bike company, I'd be like, something weird happened with the world over the last couple of years, because that's not where my path in life was, leading me at the time. Was an engineer back, for the last 20 years working on emerging technologies, and, something did happen weird with the world, and I think it was an inflection point for a lot of people, myself included. Did I want to go back into what I was doing, or so I took some time off, and I thought about it, and my electric bike is the favorite purchase I've ever made in my entire life. Okay. And the more I thought about the electric bike in this area and our challenges with cars and parking and stuff like that, I'm like, we should all be on these around here. And if we can kind of design the area and get our, the community involved and get people involved and get, our elected officials involved and say, hey, let's make this a more bike-friendly area. Because I can give you 3 bikes for the week, instead of a golf cart, instead of your car, and then you can go anywhere up and down 30A you want, right? And not have to worry about parking, not have to worry about gas, and it's a better experience for a user, and it's a better experience for all of us, really, when it comes down to it. So I believe in it, right? I really do believe, like, hey, let's get people out of their cars, out of their golf carts, and get them on bikes. So yeah, that's kind of
there you go. Hey, that's good.
Yeah.
I haven't. I'm gonna be honest with you. Have not been on a bike in years.
Okay.
And you and Steve have several bikes, and they ride quite a bit. I don't, so I'm gonna have to sample one soon.
I've got one for you.
And my wife, she may not be with me, but because when we first got married, we each had a bike, and had ridden like two houses down from our house, and her chain got stuck, and it just stopped and threw her to the ground. And she was scared that a car had come around the corner, was gonna hit her, and that I pushed the bike home for her, 2 houses back, and that's the last time I think she's been on a bike. She'll kill me for saying that, but so this may be the option. We get this all the time, and it is it's sort of revolutionary. So we get a lot of people that used to love biking, 20 years ago, 15 years ago, and haven't done it, and all of a sudden they get on this, and something clicks in their head, and within 2 pedals, it's a big smile, going, I can bike again. I haven't thought about this, I can bike again. So yeah, I would say, a lot of our customers are 60 plus, where they used to love biking 20 something years ago and haven't done it. And I'd love to show you some of the reviews that we have so far. They're absolutely love it, right? So it kind of changes the way they think about it. Oh, I can still bike, right? Because part of the tough parts about biking is getting that first little pedal going, right? So giving that little, so now I give you a little bit of, juice to move the bike forward, plus you can go a little bit further. Oh, people love it. Yeah, they absolutely love it, especially people that used to, bike years ago and haven't done it in so long.
I think I'd go a lot further if I had an electric bike.
Yeah, that's really the goal, right? So I have customers that are coming down now that they would normally run a golf cart or something, and I'm not saying maybe instead of getting 2 golf carts, if you get a sizable, you get 4 bikes and a golf cart, or however it works out, and I bet you they take those bikes more than they take those golf carts, right?
Well, they go right across the street to the beach or whatever. It just makes it. So how long have you been doing this?
So I'm 1 year to this month. Yeah.
Wow.
So we launched October 1st last year.
And how many
That's
bikes
wild.
do you have in your inventory?
It started, we've got about close to 50 now. We're getting close to that
Wow.
50 number,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, and want to continue to double it, so get more
Well,
and
that's
more.
a lot. That's a big
Yeah,
inventory.
yeah, we're getting up
Big
there.
inventory, big investment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
And we were talking earlier, well, last time we talked, that he was talking about the trails and how many people really use all the trails along 38.
Sure.
And,
Yeah.
and, it's really,
It's so pretty.
it is, yeah.
Yeah, and the Tempucci Trail, which is the one that starts at Topsail, so on the far end of 38, goes all the way down to Rosemary Beach, is it's a mixed-use path, so it's for biking and hiking. Yeah, I forget, somebody had told me a story, I forget who was, they said that it was their idea to put that on there and connect all these little beach towns. It was probably the best thing that we've done down here because, now it is all accessible, by that bike path. Now as a community, we need to, make sure it's safe and make sure that we're keeping
Right.
and maintaining it. But it's it's a gem for our area, right?
Oh,
To be able to say, I want to get on a bike and go from Topsail all the way down to Rosemary Beach. I don't know if you're gonna do it on a regular bike, but an electric bike for sure. And then come back in a single day. I mean, there are not too many places around here that are in the U.S. probably that you can do that and explore all these beautiful beach towns that we
And
have.
do it at your own pace.
Right.
And so that's what we talked about. And that's where I was going to a minute ago. When you rent your bikes, normally, like most like golf carts, those type things, that's like a daily rental, that
Right.
type. But you're telling me that when most of your people come in from out of state, they rent for the whole week they're
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, I that is my goal, is to get them for a week, right?
Right.
So I want them, and we want to be looked at as a alternative for a golf cart, right? So they get golf carts for a week when they come in, instead of getting the golf cart, get the bikes with, or a combination of one golf cart and some bikes. So we want to be weekly, like the daily rentals. We'll do those too as well, but it's our model is, we're more efficient, that we can get them out there for multiple days and get, make sure that the bikes are serviced, and I can get you 5 to 10 bikes if you need it, for a single family, and you take them for the week, and we'll make it cost effective for you to do it.
So
Right.
do you deliver and pick
We
up?
deliver, yeah.
Oh, that makes it really
Yeah.
nice.
And we try to do a little bit of, when we drop them off, we do we show them how to use the bikes, we
Uh-huh.
give them the chargers, helmets, and then we're on call, have somebody on call pretty much 24 hours. So if something happens, we want to make
That's
sure
good,
that people
yeah.
have a good experience with
Right.
us, right?
Right. They have a bike that won't charge or something's happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then they're, yeah.
I mean, being the first year, it's a lot me.
I bet you go out to a lot too.
There's a lot me, but as we grow, we'll add, more
Sure,
people.
yeah.
So I know
How
what
lo-
I signed up with myself up
How long does a charge last?
for. Depending on the rider.
Okay.
But they say the most is like 30 to 50 miles. But I mean,
That's a long
That is,
time.
yeah.
but it depends on how you use the bike,
Right.
right? So if you want to, in bikes have the throttle, they have a pedal assist and a throttle. So when you pull back on that throttle and you just pull that back for
30
15 miles, you're not going to get as many miles.
Right.
But you can put it in a low pedal assist and you can get 60, 70 miles, right? So you can still use it as a regular bike at the end of the day,
Sure.
right? And just give
Yeah.
yourself a little bit of pedal assist.
That's like when you're tired, you just kick it in.
Yeah.
So do you have baskets and stuff like for beach towels?
Yeah.
Yeah?
We're trying to, we're trying to add on little things like that. So what's the best little combinations for people to get? So we got little baskets, and some of them, some front baskets, back baskets, pool behinds if they want to bring pool behinds, kid pool behinds, cargo pool behinds. Yeah.
Oh.
With little animals. That's what
Yeah,
we're saying.
yeah,
So,
I've
yeah,
got
yeah,
one.
it's like,
I
yeah.
had one now.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
had
Is there an age requirement for your bike?
I want to say it's 16, but
Okay.
if we have people that are a little bit younger and they're capable, and as long as they're with parents and we feel like they're capable to do, we can go a little bit lower than that.
Okay.
Yeah. What we don't want is that, a 16 to 17-year-old. I was a 16 or 17-year-old boy, and if you gave me that bike and then without
That's
supervision,
dangerous, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I would be building ramps outside.
Isn't it amazing how as we get older, we look at, and you'll find this you get my age too, especially that so many things that, now that I've got grandchildren, it's like, I just hope they don't know about that or don't think
Of
about
course they
that,
know about it.
Yeah, right, sure, they will. And that's how they learn
Yeah.
and do all that too, so.
Yeah, I mean, of course we were 16-year-old boys. Yeah, and I just have to have the long conversation with the parents every time going,
Right.
here's
and
what
this-
they're going to do. I mean, it's not 100% they're going to do it, but it's 75%
Yeah.
they're going to do it. So, just taking on the responsibility and the bike brakes or
And
something.
there's always that parent, oh, mom would never do that.
Yeah.
You're like,
We have,
yeah,
a lot, we have a lot of parents in the world that believe that their kids are not the ones that do things. Yeah.
oh, yeah.
So are
I-
the bikes different sizes for different?
I've got a few different sizes,
Okay.
but generally I want to get it down, for efficiency purposes, down to like 1 or 2 bikes.
And then you just do the seat.
Yeah, we can
Right.
with the seats. Yeah, and they're pretty good. The bikes are really good for different sizes. And obviously, for someone that's 6'9", it's not going to fit onto the bike, or
Right.
someone that's under 5 foot, that's going to be a problem. But yeah, if you're normal size, 5'2" to 6'4", you'd be fine.
Oh
with
yeah,
the
that's
Yeah.
big. And how fast can we go?
This is the big one for me. So I want to be responsible to the community, right? So
Right.
if this is actually, I've actually sat down with the county a few times on this and kind of laid out what I call the electric bike. What do I call it? The EBC. It's a community, like all people that rent electric bikes in the area, saying we understand that these are blessings and they can help us do certain things and help us alleviate traffic and parking and all this, but they can also be a little bit of a nuisance on the bike path, right? So I've seen bikes out there that weighed 125 pounds and we're going
Flying down the
30,
yeah.
40 miles an hour down the bike path, and that's not,
That's like a motorcycle.
yeah, and that's not where we want to go at all with it. So,
Right.
I mean, we want to keep them under 20 miles an hour, like, so that they're safe, that they're, that the rider's in control of them, and
And they're respectful around the other people.
exactly,
Yeah,
right? And
that's good.
and so this going back to me trying to work with the county a little bit is it's also the county can do certain things that we need to get more efficient, and part of again, I'm going back to my engineering days. Efficiency is a big thing for me, right? So what can we do to get better at what we do? Part of it is make that bike path a little bit, put a stripe down the middle, so people understand, hey, you stay on the right side, you stay on the left side, like we do on the roads, and that will help unclog some of the areas and keep traffic moving down.
So can you put is it a govern? Is that what?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you
Yeah,
go, Governor.
yeah. I mean,
Get 'em
that's,
Under 20.
yeah. You'd hate to resort to that, but at the same time, if it
No, I
became an
want it.
issue,
You want to
Yeah.
be
yeah.
safe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, as a business owner, I don't want someone going 40, right? Well, liability issues, number one. Number two, the second we have people going 40, crashing into other people, I
Sure.
get kicked out of here, right?
Yeah.
We
Right.
don't, 100%. And the other one is I don't want people on the beach, right? I've seen some bikes riding down the beach. I'm like, nobody wants to be hit by a guy riding down the beach
True,
on an
yeah.
electric bike. So let's be, what would I call this? The South of Wall Electric Bike Alliance, where I'm working with a couple other
Yeah.
companies that do this, and say, let's get together and say, here, before we get regulated, let's put these regulations on ourselves,
Kind
so
of
that
little preemptive
That's
action,
really
yeah.
good.
yeah.
So-
Unlike the golf carts that get all these regulations
Yeah.
after they'd already
Yeah.
started.
I'm going to regulate myself just because
That's
I
good.
don't want, and and we should have some regulation, like going 40 miles an hour down a bike path with a bike that's,
It's just being responsible.
yeah,
Yeah.
someone's going to get hurt.
How's the reception been from the other bike companies
Well,
that you're working with?
Yeah, but it's going great. So yeah, there's a few of them that we've been talking about it for a few months. We need to continue conversations and get in front of like BCC, Board of County Commissioners, and make some proposals to them. And they do that. There should be some money out there from tourists and bed tax and stuff like that we can actually help improve it. So part of this is it's on my list, my
Yeah.
goal. This is part of my. I could see myself in a few years running for Board of County Commissioners or something
Right,
like that.
to
Just
be
say, hey,
able to-
I've never been involved in local politics and stuff, but over the last year, I'm more and more
Yeah.
like seeing how things work, and I'm like,
And making
man,
positive changes.
trying to,
Yeah.
They'll be the bike czar of Washington County. No,
It'll be a new role.
that's right. We'll have a new position that you'll be appointed to. So, but no, I think it is good because when you bring something new to the area, it's important to understand how it can be, what the negative aspect
Sure.
should be, and eliminate that. And like you said, if you self-regulate, then you're going to implement better standards than somebody coming in to regulate you that really have
Yeah.
no idea about what they're regulating.
Yeah. and we just got to be responsible to our community, right? So part of, you know, it is a business, but it's also, I mean, I do believe that businesses have to give back to the community and do positive for the community. So this is part of like our, you know, we want to do what's right for, you know, for the area. So that's part of, you know, part of this is saying, hey, what is the most responsible thing for us to do? And then it's putting in regulations for ourselves. So
Right. So now your area that you cover is mainly Walton County,
yeah,
correct?
30A. So
30A.
just, yeah, and I would like to go over a little bit further, but we're 1 year in. Let's get this
Yeah,
area down
get-
a little bit. And I get a
right.
lot of calls from Panama City Beach, you know, and I'm like, it's a little bit further than I want to go right now.
What if they wanted to pick them up?
Still a little bit challenging.
Because in case something breaks
yeah,
down.
something breaks.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. And then I have everything within this little square area that I can say the bikes are here. You know, I can, if I need to go find one, if something gets stolen, we know that it's
Are
going to
there
be
trackers on all your bikes?
possibly.
Possibly. There, as of today, there are.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, I think some do, some don't. We
Right.
never know.
Well, you never know which one you're going to get.
So make sure you return the bike.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, I'm sure it's a hefty deposit.
Well, it's not a deposit, but we do have all, you know, credit information,
Yeah.
you know, down in file. So if something happens,
Well, you want to make sure you
Well,
get your
yeah,
bike back.
sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We've had nothing stolen,
Yeah.
Boy.
of course.
Yeah, you better.
but we have had some accidents.
Oh.
I
Interesting.
mean, it's all user error.
Do they try to get out of the responsibility that's obviously theirs?
I'm pretty lackadaisical on it. Not lackadaisical, but I'm understanding, and they're very, and it's very clear on
Oh,
that.
I want to hear an answer.
I know.
It's very clear in the book, like if you're gonna ride, if you're gonna go and have mimosas and drink, and
Yeah.
no drinking, wear a helmet, you know, and don't go at night. And that's some people that like, nah, whatever. I'm gonna
Let's
go
go have
drink
a
some
few
mimosas.
mimosas.
Yeah, and the bikes are faster than you think they are, and
And you're not
get moving.
reacting as quickly
Yeah,
as you
and,
think you are. Yeah.
and-
Oh.
That's interesting. I never
had
thought about
I
that.
had
Yeah.
a lady that great customer, but she the night that I was going to pick up the bike, and she was actually Panama City Beach, so the
Oh,
night
great.
Panama
Right.
the night that I went to go pick up the bike, she had been drinking, and she flying down the road, her hat flies off. And she goes to pick up the hat, and
And the bike's still going, of
bike,
course. Yeah.
and she goes over, and then the bike was pretty messed up, but she had this just black eye, and when she came out to meet me, she was just like, I'm like, what's going on?
And then you see her and you're like,
I'm
where's
like, are
the
you
bike?
all right? Like, and she had like, I'm like, it's all right. Don't worry about it. Are you okay? Number one, that's the
Yeah.
most important thing on this. But yeah, I think she ended up writing a 5-star review too. But it was great.
Aw.
I felt, I'm like, are you okay? Don't worry about the bike. We'll take care of it all, right?
You should have said, "Gosh, if you look like that, what does my bike look like?" You
Yeah,
know?
I wasn't too worried about it. I was more like for her, like she's been okay though.
Right. Right.
So when you
That's
rent
why-
a bike, is there insurance? Do you like get
I
an
mean,
insurance
I am.
pop? Like,
Well-
do we, like if we rent one, do we get an insurance policy or?
I thought about something like that.
Okay.
You know, I don't know how to. I haven't thought enough to how to, you know, it's structured. I mean, I have insurance, but I don't have insurance.
But if damages, they pay.
Yeah, but but I thought about it a little bit. What would worry me is like someone would pay $5 a day for insurance and be like,
We
I'm
don't
gonna
Do
go
what
tear
they
this
want.
up.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, especially if you have kids. It's like whatever, go do
We
it.
got
It's
insurance.
we,
Yeah.
we bought
Yeah.
the insurance.
Yeah, we got the $5.
right, yeah. Yeah, that's true. That would, and of course, you know, a few attitudes like that would really put a cripple on your inventory, possibly.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
And we've got some. I mean, right now I've got a number of bikes down that. Again, going back to what I'm done my entire career, it wasn't bikes. So I've got a couple people that work, but I don't know what I'm doing with them. So I've got some people that are really good, but
That's
I look and I go, I don't know. How to do that.
right. Well, that's why you have those other people to make
Yeah.
sure they do what they do and they do
Yeah.
it well. So, yeah. Well, I think it's interesting that your whole company, that everything you're doing was never on your projection, your planned path.
Yeah. Again, if you would have told me 4 years ago this is what I'd be doing, I'd be like,
No.
now something weird happened. Something in
Yeah.
the world.
I think there are so
Okay.
many people that during
Yeah.
that period with COVID and,
Yeah.
and just with everything that changed,
Yeah.
they gave them they had the opportunity to reassess a lot of things.
Yeah.
And I think this is a good example of seeing how people took a passion and then brought it to
Yeah.
life. Yeah.
I think it's a good inflection point for a lot of people,
Yeah.
for everybody.
Yeah.
I will say this. So when I was, 20 years ago getting into a career, my goal always was to own an ice cream store at the beach.
Really?
Right? This is the goal in my head 20 years ago. So
It's
now
close.
I'm
Really
close.
close.
I'm
Well,
there, right?
you're
And we're
just,
still-
just change ice cream for electric
Yeah.
bikes on the beach. We're
Oh,
there.
you still have the ice cream.
I can get ice cream still, but I
Yeah.
mean, it's kind of I kind of hit the goal, I guess, right?
That's
I
true,
want
yeah.
one now.
I do
I
too.
got them outside.
We may have to
Oh.
run around the parking lot. I'll
He
fall on
doesn't
the
have
rocks.
insurance.
True, yeah.
For you, buddy. Buddy, we better just stick with the regular.
Right, right. So where do you see yourself, where would you like to see your company in like 2 to 3 years?
Great question. I wrote out a plan, obviously, when we started, and with the plan, I've been really good with the plan, like sticking to it and
Oh.
making the things that the changes and the numbers and all the things that we put out there, and we're doing pretty well. I never want to be the biggest bike company around or anything, but I do want us to get better. I think it's a good agent for change for the area, where I can if I get big enough where I can swing enough power to say, hey, let's get. I know people are not going to like this very much when I'm saying this, but we got to get cars like kind of restricted off of 30A.
There's a lot of traffic. Yes.
Yeah, let's be honest about what we've got here. And if you look at it, and I live on Lake Drive, so good on Lake Drive, Gulf Drive is the next one up, then Dalton Drive, these Lakeshore Drive. There are 9 new houses being built on Lakeshore Drive. There are 8 houses being built on
Wow.
like Gulf Front. So in my little 4-block area, there are about 35 brand new houses being built right in that little area. And then if you look at the Walton, South Walton specifically, we maybe have, I don't know, 30% that is unbuildable, or you can't do anything with, because we have all these state forests and state parks and stuff like that. I mean, I don't know if that number's correct or not, but I would say it's close. So we have a growth that is unbelievable. Like, so we have
Oh, yeah.
35 houses being built in just a little, you multiply that out by every block down the
Right.
street, and then we don't have an ability to keep building roads because we have to go through state forests. So we're geographically constricted. We've got a just absolutely
It's a good point.
booming
Yeah.
population, and then we have this tourist trade that grows 10% every year. So we're going to continue to add 10% to the people and population, and can't build more roads. Like, we got to get smarter at some point. So how do we get smarter?
Or you'll be in traffic the whole time
Yeah,
you're here.
that's it, right? If we don't have more, like, just forward thinking about what we're doing, it's gonna be just a giant traffic jam getting in and out of this place, which it's already becoming.
Yeah, it
So-
is becoming.
And it is nice to have the bike on the path, and you just zoom by everybody, and
Yeah.
they were
And-
spending their time waiting while you're already at your destination.
Yeah, and I think the county, they put together this mobility 2040 plan, I want to say, and then you can see that they've, in some places they said, okay, let's do this, let's make it a 1 lane, or 30A, and then we'll have a low speed vehicle lane, a bike lane, a walking path, which is absolutely the way it needs to go, because we just don't have the space to continue to build out roads.
Yeah.
You gotta incent people to get out of their cars, right?
Sure.
So when you're coming down here for a week or whatever it is, like, just leave that car in the garage, or park it up north of 331. Don't bring it down here. We'll figure out how to get you your place, and then from there, you take bikes, you take Goobers or Ubers or whatever it
Yeah.
is, but just
Goobers.
Ubers. Yeah.
Well, here's what I think you need to have: an ice cream stand somewhere on the
Yeah.
beach, where the only people that can access that are people that
Sure.
are on a 30A electric bike.
Yeah.
Oh, dang.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
just
Or
your
electric bikes in general. Just get everybody.
Well, that's true, but
Yeah.
we're gonna
But
be
if
really,
they can,
really specific
I'm
here.
thinking
So.
if I was on vacation, I would want to be on a bike. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what you're here for. You're here to be in
You're
the
here to be on the
outdoors.
beach.
Yeah.
So that would be amazing.
Yeah.
And if you incentivize them to do that,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. I
And
mean,
then-
you're coming down for a week. Just get out of the cars. Like, why would you
Yeah.
want to get into a car? Now, the county's we've got to, not just the county, but we've got to make it safer too, right? So
Right.
if we go out,
Because if everyone's on a bike,
yeah, but we can, expand the bike lanes, expand the, slow down the traffic or remove some of the traffic, because you get to like that 7 or 8 o'clock at night where it's a little bit darker. There's some safety issues out there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Remember the night we went?
And we couldn't see anything?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and it
it's
was
dark
like
night.
It is
Frogger
real
with
dark.
people
yeah.
darting out in front of you. Yeah. So, but okay, something else I wanted to cover too. Where do a lot of your business come? Like when people are coming in, what areas of the country are they from?
I've been amazed by this, and I've thought about it. And it sort of makes sense, but it's almost like West Coast
Oh,
to
Isn't that
East
interesting?
Coast.
Yeah.
yeah.
And I think that, it's starting to change over a little bit, but I would say, well, my biggest is going to be Texas, and that's who mostly comes here. But Utah, like I've got just this giant contingent of Utah people, California people. I just talked to someone from Oregon this morning. I think that the bikes they're more ubiquitous out there than they are here, right? So
Right.
Yeah.
it's kind of moving eastwards, and then now you're starting to see then Midwest, right? So Midwest, Cincinnati, Michigan, Wisconsin.
And so like when these people come in, they already know about the bikes. They
Right.
want to rent them the whole time
Yeah.
they're here, and
They
it
want
just makes your job easier.
They want them, yeah. A lot of the convincing the Southeast is they don't know about them much, right? They're starting
Yeah.
to see them,
Yeah.
right? So part of it is a sales job to people that haven't been on them before, but man, once we get on them, they're sold.
Well, what you're going to have to do for the younger crowd here is you're going to have to like have a lower wheel in the back and the big wheel in the front. You know how they do the trucks and
Yeah.
stuff? Yeah. So
How
Yeah.
do people find out about you?
So the internet, the
Okay.
interwebs.
Do you have videos out there and things that they can watch?
I don't. I'm starting to do a little bit of, when we drop the bikes off, have a scan thing where people can scan it. There's
Oh,
a little
that's good.
video of how to use the bike, how to turn it on,
That's
how to
good,
lock
yeah.
it.
That's nice.
So we're working on that. But what we do have, it's just, Google. We've done work with Google to get that good up there.
well, good. So I just think it's an interesting concept, and I think it's when we talked before when we first met the group that comes in from the West and Texas, like you said, that already come in knowing what they want,
Yeah.
and
They love it.
they're just ready. And it is all about educating. I like the fact that you're doing that. It's not that you just have like an electric bike business and I just want to rent my bikes. That's my main passion and
Oh,
what I
no,
want to do.
I
But
like it.
yeah, I like you're taking the safety, the regulating, and
Yeah.
everything into.
Oh, it's a better area. Like, let's just make the area better. What can we do to, what can I do? What can my business do to make the area just more enjoyable and more
Right.
long term? If everybody did one thing or something to make life better for everybody else, and that means it's a better world we can live in at the end
True.
of the day. So,
And the logo is killer. So
thank
we've
you.
got to get the shirts and hats and get your logo, your apparel shop going too as well. So, but if you will tell everybody what your website is.
sure, it's www.30aelectric.com, and then IG, Instagram is 30a_electric bike co.
All right,
I appreciate it.
great.
Hey, thank you very much.
Well, thank you for being here. We enjoyed it.
Oh, yeah.
So that concludes our next episode of Luxe Life Discovered, and thank you for joining us today.
Check out Luxe Life Discovered on Facebook and Instagram and on 30a.tv. See you next time on Luxe Life Discovered.